Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all very well indeed. Here with another Manchester City news update. It's Friday night. I'm supposed to do the draw tonight, aren't I? I'll have to do that later, guys. Been out tonight, so I've supposed to do a draw for a prize. I'll have to do that to get all the names. Normally, what I would have done was get the names before I went out, but running around a bit late. So what we're going to talk about today before anybody comes on, I'll get these things out. Talking about David Alaba. We're going to talk about a kid called Yangel Herrera. We're going to talk about John Stones and a price suggested for John Stones, which I think is a little bit on the cheap side. Joe Hodge. You might never have heard of him. I'm going to talk about Jose Gimenez. You might have heard of him. And we'll talk about a price for, well, an open door for Koulibaly. Maybe he's off-ski. I said it would be. Cobby, hey. Cobby, Adam, Faris, Blue Moon, Harry, Chris Welch. Nice to have you back, Chris. Everybody, hope you're well. Cobby might be move on from. Wow, Cobby's giving Koulibaly the flick. Kagla Sionchu, another target, says Cobby. Well, Sionchu's actually got a bit of pace about him. And he's young as well. But I don't think you'll get him for less than 40 million. And I think Pep wants, and we might probably need a top-class centre-back right for the right-hand side. That's not Nathan Ake. I don't know if that's Kagla Sionchu either. I thought Sionchu played on the left-hand side of the pair. And I thought Pep wanted the right-hand side of the pair. It's very specific what his requirements are. Chris, what you're saying, I see City going for another centre-back, even if they get sign Ake. Yeah, I don't. Ake is a cover for Laporte, as far as I'm concerned. He'll play plenty of games. He'll have a few games in the Champions League. It'll be great for him. The one thing he'll have to get used to is he's a first teamer almost every gamer for Bournemouth. He played 38 games 2 seasons back, 38 games last season, 29 games this season. And that was at the end, he lost some games because of an injury. So you think he's going to be in for a shock at City because, yeah, he might a few games and he might get a few in the Champions League. But, honestly, we might play 60 games. He might only get 10. Honestly. If we're playing in the Carabao Cup, I can see him being a Carabao Cup player. And he'd have played in the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, semi-final. He'd have had 5 or 6 games in the Carabao Cup. He'd have had 3 or 4 games in the FA Cup, 2 or 3 games in the Champions League, I reckon, and 6 or 7 games in the league. He'd have got 20 games. A big step down. Hi, Gary Deneen, hope you're well, buddy. I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. And I will say for anybody who is celebrating today, Eid Mubarak. I would have said that at the start, but I forgot. Eid Mubarak, guys. Ake will get games as Pep likes to rotate. Yeah, but the thing is, all the big games will be Laporte. All the big games will be Laporte. Hey, you're not late. Sean, it's only 3.5 minutes in. Make sure you bash that like button because our buddies, our friends are doing exactly the opposite. So just make sure you bash it. I'll say it every time. They're wasting their time. They're wasting the time because you know what? No matter how much they hit that dislike button, we're still here. We're still here. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, the channel is still here. I'll just mention it. We've had a lot of naughty people. That's a polite way of saying it over the last year who want it in for the channel. Don't see the problem. Don't see the point. But they're dedicated. Their stupidity is dedicated in stupidity. Well, we know who they are, Adam. They're still doing it, Chris. They're still doing it. And the thing is, Chris and Adam, YouTube removes most of them. YouTube removes most of the downticks within a few hours. So they keep coming back and they keep doing it. The other night, we had 35 downticks. YouTube removed them to 6. So these guys really are wasting their time. But hey, you know, if nothing else, I mean, the guys who went, I did this video on Ismail Benassa, and I got 10 people giving it a thumbs down, and they were done within the first few minutes of the video being live. It's 10 extra views. Thanks a lot, guys. And your down ticks are going to be removed soon anyway, so can't complain. Let's have a look what people are saying. Faris, no way Ake should be a regular. No, he's not going to be a regulator. He's not going to be a regular. Ish Chardonnay. Liverpool, champions of England, champions of Europe, champions of the world. Ace. Well, putting us in our place, aren't you, mate? First time in 30 years and you like haven't spent money because you have, yeah. Cobby, it's one or two people. We suspect it's one person. It's more views for me, Adam. You know, there's one person who hits it, gives me 16 dislikes because they got 16 channels, 16 accounts. There's another one that hits me for maybe 10. So, you know, more views for me. You know, and when you get 35 negatives, you know, down ticks, and YouTube kicks 30 of them off within a few hours, I get the views, I think, and I don't get the negativity. What's not to like by these dumbasses? There might be one person. Yeah, look, Chris, there's one person behind a lot of them, you know, and it could be the head chipmunk, could be one of his disciples, or well, you got what do you call it? You got the head chipmunk, you got his underlings, yeah. So the underlings suck from the teat of the head chipmunk. So the underlings are sucking from the teat of the head chipmunks, and then you got all the disciples as well. So some of them, you know, came on the other night. Some of them came on the night. What swear word, Faris? I said, what have I said, Faris? I actually used some semi-choice language in the past. What have I said, Faris? No, I called them the teat. They're sucking on the teat of the head chipmunk. So his underlings. Yeah, and yeah. He's the head chipmunk. And then you got a couple who suck on his teats, and then you've got a lot of people who kiss his backside. And a lot of them that flick. I mean, he was a nice guy. I give a flick to I forgot his name now. Carl. Give a flick to Carl because he came here giving us crap, and I think everybody wanted him off. So, and I wanted him off at that time as well. You know, unfortunately, Carl thought just because he's got an opinion, everybody else disagreed with it, and he thought it'd be Billy Big so. No, Adam, I don't talk to him. Don't talk to him at all. Sam Allington, Ake. Hey, bring on Ake. Bring him down. Come on. Let's go through this. We've had 8 minutes of blah, blah. Let's go through some talk then. Okay, Napoli president De Laurentiis opens the door to Koulibaly sale amid Man City links. Now, I said the other day, Napoli are not in the Champions League. They're going to miss out on the Champions League money. That's going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to hurt a lot. If there's no fans at grounds next season, it's going to hurt even more. And if actually, I'll do a slight digression here. They were doing some test events where they're going to have small crowds, and a lot of them they've had to stop now. I think they were going to do some at Goodwood. I know they were doing some at the World Championship, the Snooker World Championships, and from tomorrow they can't do it anymore. So they've had to stop. So the test events are gone. So the chances of starting going to grounds again in October look extremely remote. We're only 2 months away from that. And the way things look right now, it's going to be very difficult to have much of a crowd, if any, at football grounds. So on top of, you know, if the same affects Italy, they might not get any money through the gate next season. So Napoli need a bit of brass. No matter what anybody says, you still got to comply with FFP. FFP hasn't gone. You still got to comply with it. Now, let's have a look. Try and get this information out. A bit of details. Koulibaly is 29. Okay, 29 years old. Now, Napoli won the Coppa Italia to beat Juventus last month, but he has still 3 years left on his contract. So that's a lot. But he refused to move out of it. He refused to rule out a summer transfer when he quizzed on his future last week. I would love to stay at Napoli for life, but I can't make promises. And that's what Koulibaly told Radio Kiss Kiss. Radio Kiss Kiss. Now, De Laurentiis, look, he can say what he likes. He can say, I want to keep the guy, blah, blah, blah. But if he's offered enough money, you'll take the money. Now, this is what he told Sky Italia. Kalidou is a great person. I would be terribly sad to lose him, but there is time for everything, even to move apart. But the 90 million euros is not on the table, and so it takes two to make a deal. Okay, so they're asking for 90 million euros. Now, City, reports are City are looking at around the 70 million mark. Now, City could offer 70 million quid, which is just over 78 million euros, nearly 80. Now, will they take 80 million euros? Will City push the boat out on this one? It's going to be interesting to see what City do on this. Aki is better than Stones and Otamendi, so that will do for me, says Zidane. Anything above 65 million plus add-ons, it will be time to move on to his copy. I think that's the right level of money. Yep, Chris, I said it. I thought it was unlikely in October. Sadly, you can't trust. I'll say it again. You cannot trust the government, and that's where a lot of the problems have arisen. They've not gone for zero COVID. They've gone for mixed messages, messing around, and that's caused a lot of confusion, anger, and instead of, it's hard to be in a position like New Zealand, but instead of aiming for something like that, aiming for a level of normality by now, it looks like we're just going to go through what situations where we're having now, where Greater Manchester might now be locked in a new state of semi-lockdown for the next 4 to 6 weeks, like Leicester. So I just can't see the crowds going to games. And I said as much that we should be looking at next season. We should get Ruben Dias as he's young and both-footed. Both-footed. I don't know enough about him. I think we want someone with. I want someone with experience. I don't want to get somebody and it takes them a year to acclimatise. Look at Cancelo; it's taken him time to find his feet. Look at even Bernardo Silva didn't play much his first season. It was awesome the second season. Mahrez was bang average the first season, if we're being honest, and he was pretty good the second season. So people need that time to acclimatise, unless just someone like Laporte who just stepped in and was brilliant. So we want someone who's going to do the same. Very nice to know people already favour Aki over Stones and Otamendi. They're not as they used to be, but yeah, you got to be respectful because they did this proud, And look, if you do your best and you try your hardest, what else can you ask for? Chris says apparently they'll test some fans in stadium for Community Shield, which is ridiculous with rumours of second spot. Well, I don't know how they can do that, Chris. How many are they going to have in the stadium? A 90,000 seat stadium. Are they going to have about 2,000 or 3,000? I saw the World Championships at snooker today, where they had a reduced crowd as a test event, and now from tomorrow they can't have any because of what's going on. They can't have any fans at that test event. I think Goodwood had a similar problem, and I just can't see how they're going to have it at the Community Shield now. Wow. Shermine is saying Ruben Dias is young and cheaper and better. Hey, Jason, you got 7 days free trial HD StreamYard. Where's mine? Hey, GSJ, Eid Mubarak to you, buddy. Hope you're well, brother. Yeah, Jason, they've already... it was up to 10 dislikes not so long ago. Actually, no, I had another video that got 10 dislikes that I put out just before 9. It did pretty well, I think. for the time it's been up. 78 views. That's my Ismail Benasser. I got battered with 10 down ticks straight away, but because they've got nothing better to do. I just say get a girlfriend or get a wife and do something with them. Yeah, don't. Why do those guys come sniffing around here? I mean, spend some time with the other half. For God's sake, is life so bad? Is their life so bad that they have to come on here every night and every video I do? Is your life so bad? Spend time with your missus. Spend time with your girlfriends. And if you haven't got a missus or a girlfriend, or you've got problems with them, blow one up. Ruben Diaz is like Milan Skriniar from Inter. Well, I don't watch much European football anymore. Diaz, 52 buyout. That's a good price, Sam. It's a good price, buddy. If the UK had done the lockdown in the same way as Germany, you would be back to normal to a degree. Public just that. Well, it's not just that, Gary. It's not just the public's fault. We didn't do it properly at the start, and you've got people, unfortunately, who are paying rent and have got no savings, and they've got to keep going to work. There's no one helping them out, so they've got to keep going to work. They've got to go on crowded public transport. And there's nothing they can do about it. That's what they feel. There's nothing they can do about it. So that's a real shame. But I think it's a lot of these mixed messages. You will get the plebs who will just disregard. Yeah, disregard anyway. I mean, I've just been into Manchester, and a lot of people, milling around because it's Eid around the Curry Mile or whatever it is, Curry few hundred yards it is these days in Rusholme. Not enough wearing masks, and people don't care. And I don't think it matters whether you're black, brown, or white, but people just don't care. We're driving past the pubs. All right. I didn't see inside because I was driving past. But you could see outside in the beer gardens. They were rammed. Some of them were rammed. People wearing masks, no chance. So the public, some of the public, they just want that level of normality. And the problem is when you see normality elsewhere, it lulls you into a false sense of security. It makes you think, well, if they're doing it, so can we. And it's just not the same around Europe as it is here. But everybody's going up because people, I said when I went to France, people were telling me, oh, there's going to be a second wave, there's going to be a second wave, there's going to be a second wave. You're inviting people into your house, you think it's gone. You're in the parks. Okay, parks are a much safer place. You're having picnics for hours with people, and you're carrying on. Most people were carrying on their lives as normal by the time we left, and it's like we'd come from a regime where we were very, very cautious about going out. And you go to France and you see what's going on there, and everybody's much looser. And I said, it's going to hit. Because all you need is, they never checked us. When we came from England, they never checked us at the border. They never asked us any questions. Are you feeling ill? No testing, no nothing. You just drive straight through. We were on the Eurotunnel. Drive straight through, no problems whatsoever. So if someone's got it, someone drives in or flies in, they've got it. By the time people realise, it could be a week or 10 days down the line. And if they've been out clubbing or to the church or in the market or something, they could have passed it on to hundreds by the time they could be asymptomatic. By the time anybody finds out, it's too late. And you've got a huge spike. Hey, thanks, Jason. I'll have a look at that. We wear masks here and it's slowly like, well, that's it, Gary. People are not wearing masks here. And there's more and more of them, but they should have done it a long, long time ago. They should have done it a long time ago, and they should have hit it hard. They should say, outside your own house, you have got to wear a mask. What's all the lights in this? Yep, still it is. It still is, Gary. I talked about it a bit on Twitter. You get people. Basically, I have old videos, so I might have a video that I did a day or two ago where it's not that relevant. And I see most videos I do within 2 days, no one's watching them. Okay, it's all news. And then one day I noticed this video suddenly got a lot of views in the last hour because you watch your metrics, you watch your key performance indicators. So suddenly I had 16 views. I thought, oh, what's that for? It's 2 days ago. And it even had the date. It was 24th of June. And it said, because there was so little to talk about, I had no headline. I just thought, Man City news update 24th of June. On the 26th of June, I had 16 views within an hour. And I thought, what's going on? And they were all within 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I had 16 views. And when I had a look at the dislikes, 16 dislikes. And at the so after those 16, in the next 5 or 6 minutes, there was another video. And that had been hit 16 times as well, 16 dislikes. And what they've done, they picked the 2 videos with the fewest likes, because some of my videos have 40, 50 likes. They don't bother with them because it doesn't make much difference to them. So they just hit them with the dislikes. And then YouTube comes along later and deletes them. And they must think it's great because I'm talking about it, and that's distracting from the football. But we're not here just to talk football. We're here to shoot the breeze as well. Same issue, Gary. Same issue everywhere. Shermine says, I think Ruben Ake and Ferran Torres, then that would be... Nah, there'll be more transfer business to that. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Chris Welch, we wear masks at work and now too late for me. Should have done... Yeah, should have been at the start. At the start. Come on, City, says Sean. We wear the masks and it's slowly. That's it. And that's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it, Gary. Evening, Colin. Hope you're well. No worries, Kieran. No one's ever too late. It's the guys. It's when I say, right, guys, I'm off. And then someone puts on a comment and then I've got to stay. Yep, Chris, I agree. Anyway, let's get through the rest of this gossip and stuff. Yangel Herrera. Okay. Now, Marco is saying, in this deal for Ferran Torres, initially, apparently, City wanted Yangel Herrera to go the other way for cash. As part of the deal. There's no way, I mean, basically, so that Ferran Torres costs us less. There's no way. Valencia need the price to be as high as possible for Torres, so that helps their FFP, helps their profit and loss account. Now, they said they didn't want Yangel Herrera as part of the deal. They actually, I think they want him on loan. So he's had a good season at, was he at Granada? So he's in Valencia. Basically, what they're saying is he was in Valencia on Thursday with his agent, and they were having dinner together. Now, according to the report, this indicates the negotiations are very open for his transfer. Now, City want apparently about, this is what AS state, and I don't know how they know what City want, but anyway, they say City want offers around 15 million euros. But because we've got at such a good price, Valencia are hoping that City reduce their price for Yangel Herrera by a few million. But also, I think Valencia are looking for a loan deal with an option to purchase. So I think, apparently, from what I'm reading, the situation for Herrera, it depends on Gabriel Paulista. Now, Valencia have a full, they have their non-EU quota. They're already full. I think they're only allowed 3. They've got this Lee Kang in, Maxi Gomez, and Gabriel Paulista. So they need, Gabriel Paulista is trying to get dual nationality. If he can get that, then he's, because he's, if I remember correctly, Brazilian, and Brazilians can get Portuguese nationality. So if he can get that sorted, it frees up a non-EU slot. And that will go to Yangel Herrera. So they're just waiting on that. Let's get through the other business quick. Bayern Munich have confirmed David Alabastan's Admid Man City transfer links. Now, you know, I've done a video on this guy. Alaba is top class. He's left back, can play centre back if you need to. He's, as I said, 28. He's at Bayern Munich. He's worked obviously with Pep before. Now, what Karl-Heinz Rummenigge has said, he said, first of all, I'm going to say this first. David Alaba's got 1 year left on his contract. First of all, I have to say about David that he had a great season. That's what Rummenigge told Sky Germany. Okay. He said it was Bon, and he was talking about his Alaba playing across the back line. Okay, he's very, very flexible. He said it was born out of necessity that he had to play at centre back because we had several injuries, and then Hansi Hansi Flick puts him in this position. He did it with flying colours. We have had a chief in defence for some time now, one who really takes the reins in hand and sets the tone there and simply acts as the head of the defensive unit. He did that. There has been seen, especially in these coronavirus times, in these empty stadiums, his instructions showed how well he organised it at the back. Even with his style of play, he's a very, very important player for us. We don't need to talk about that. I am nevertheless optimistic that at the end of the day, we will find a solution that David will even end his career here. He is the first player to play again at this level, like France, Beckenbauer back then, taking the reins. I think David knows what he has at Bayern, and we know what we have in David. Well, look, end of the day, if they don't pay the money that Alaba wants, Alaba will be off ski. He'll be gone. Last couple of bits of news. Joe Hodge, you might not have heard of him. He's an Irish kid. He's Ireland under-19 kid, Joe Hodge. He has been named Manchester City's Scholar of the Year for the in our Premier League Academy Awards. He was selected by City's staff for his performance, both on and off the pitch, and was recognised at a virtual awards ceremony. Now, he suffered a blow earlier this season, breaking his leg and his ankle in August. That's nasty. But managed to return, playing 14 games and helping City win the Under-18s Premier League Cup for the second year in succession. Okay, now, the young midfielder impressively beat out some of European football's brightest young talents to secure the prestigious accolade in his first year as a full-time scholar. I'm very happy to win the award, said Hodge. It's a good achievement to win Scholar of the Year, especially considering I didn't play many games. It is nice to know what I did last season. I did well, even though I couldn't play with the team. I thought my season was done, but I ended up playing 14 games, which isn't bad considering I broke my leg. I played in the quarter-final, semi-final, and the final of the Premier League Cup. I've got one game of the FA Youth Cup, so I did a lot better than I thought I would. I've loved it. It's been really good. It's been a really good first year as a scholar. Hodge was nominated for the FAI's, that's FA Ireland, Under-17 Men's International Player of the Year, and has been highly impressive when representing the boys in green, who he qualifies to play for through his grandmother. So he's a midfielder, just to let you know. So yeah, he's very, very good. Very, very good for this young kid. Other news, let's go through the other news. Apparently City are going to rival Chelsea for the Atletico Madrid defender Jose Gimenez. Now, apparently, I'm not going to go into this story in any detail because I mentioned him the other day, but they're talking 110 million euros, 110 million pounds, which is about 20 million euros. That's his release clause. Ain't happening. He's got a 3 years contract. 120 million euros ain't happening. If he's got to be under 100 before we're even bothered. So the other story I had was on John Stones. Basically, Ray Parler's having his word. A few people are talking about it, and it's mentioned that he might be available for 20 million quid. I just think that's ridiculous. 20 million quid. Arsenal and Arsenal and Chelsea supposedly having some interest. 20 million quid is ridiculous. And if we do sell him at that price, I really hope we have some huge add-ons or a buyback, because I don't think John Stones' time is done. I don't think he's fallen off the cliff. I still think he's a cracking player. And it just needs time. He just needs game time to get his mojo back. And when he's got his mojo back, I think he'll be a cracking player again. Anyway, that's what you guys are saying. Why dislike Sam Allington? It's just a group who are embarrassing themselves and trying to hassle me. Are we getting a new striker? Says Gary. I hope so. I hope we get someone like Lautaro Martinez. But it's just wait and see, because if you think about it, if you got Aguero and Gabi Jesus and that's it, I don't think that's enough. Look at the situation when Aguero has been injured. Not strikers. Gabi Jesus isn't a leading man, in my opinion. So I think we do need someone. Chris Welcome Sharaba plays in midfield for Austria. Yeah, he does. Sums the versatility of the guy. Left back, centre back, midfield, left wing or whatever. Left midfield, fantastic. Edison and Bernardo can help us get Ruben, because Edison plays with him, played with him at Benfica, and Bernardo plays with him in Portugal. Well, we'll see. Chris Welch reckons 55 million at best for Gimenez. I certainly don't think it's 100. Can be anywhere near 100. No one's going to buy him at that price. Hi, Akash, up you well. Can see Stones at Arsenal. Well, the thing is, it's about money. I mean, Arsenal are so hard up that they got a contract extension for. I forgot his name now. David Luiz. So they got a contract extension for David Luiz, a 4-year contract to Danny Ceballos, who had at that point hadn't even played for the club, and a 4-year contract for Pablo Mari, who's a City reject. I mean, we had him on loan. We had him for 3 years. I think we sent him out on loan, and then we just flogged him off for about £1 million. And Arsenal building a side around defence around him. I'm not so confident about that. Only defender worth 110 million is Virgil van Dijk, maybe Varane as well. Yeah, look, I tend to agree with you, Faris. I can't see anybody else getting it. Funny things, Oba. Well, Oba to you, buddy. Cheeky. Colin, have you seen the salty character Terry on the Football Terrace? He went live during Cast Verdicts. Oh, yeah, Colin. Look, Jason did a video commenting on what Terry was saying. And it's a very, very good video. I watched a fair chunk of that. I mean, I'm on it. He talks about me for a few minutes. He talks about Stephen for a few minutes. But most of it's to do with Terry. And trust me, guys, you will laugh out loud. I mean, I certainly did. I certainly laughed a few times out loud because Jason was getting stuck into Terry. Sell Stones and sell Ottoman and then get Ruben. We don't have to worry about selling people. I mean, we've got the money. How do I mirror your video, Bill? I don't know how to do that. I'm sorry. I have no idea. If you put the link up, I'll put the link up. That's the only way I can do it. I don't know how to mirror basically on StreamYard, this is all I do. And I'm going to start using StreamYard even less because I used to use StreamYard to do when I used to do videos, when I wanted to do them privately without having a green screen. Now I'm using Zoom, and I get the one I did on Ismail Benasser. In about 20 odd minutes, I didn't have any problems with StreamYard. That would have dropped 3 or 4 times. So looks like I'm going to use Zoom again for interviews. I'm going to use Zoom for videos like. Unfortunately, I can't use Zoom on this, because it's just a better, more stable platform for me. Chris is saying, City aren't running the market. Chelsea signed Kepa for 70 million. Arsenal signed Pepe for 72. United have got Maguire for 80. Spurs, did they pay that much for Ndombele? The other thing is, no one includes now agents' fees for Pogba cost about 90 million quid. Agent fees were supposed to be 15, 20 million. So we're talking 105, 110, maybe even 115 million quid for Pogba. Why ignore the agent's fees? And I'm not saying it just because it's you, Chris, but Liverpool spend a lot of money on agents' fees. That's I can't remember the numbers now. They were one of the highest spenders on agents' fees. And City, I don't think City are, because we refuse to deal with some of the people who charge a lot. People like, we don't want to deal with Kia Jurabchin. We don't want to deal with the fat bloke. What's his name? I'll start to forget people's names. What's a fat bloke's name? Mina Raiola. So we don't deal with Mina Raiola. Faris Arsenal have lots of defenders to get rid of. Holding, Chambers, Mustafi, Mari, Luis, Socrates. Well, Holding, I reckon, will stay. But yeah, Arsenal got a lot of problems. Thanks, Jason. I've seen something about mirroring, but I don't like to fiddle around in case I lose what I'm doing. I'd love Alaba, but dealing with Bayern, yeah, it's not going to be easy. But look, it's up to the kid himself, Colin. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and if he refuses, apparently he was asking for 400 grand a week. Now, if Bayern don't pay it, then the guy can leave and they'll let him go. Yep, Akash. Haaland's agent is Mina Raiola. That's a huge problem. Now, the only benefit City have got is that Haaland is a City fan. His dad played for the club. He was born in Leeds, I think. So that's the only advantage we've got. But we don't want to deal with Mina Raiola. Faris was like Neymar 200. Yeah, Neymar 220. Dembele 110. Coutinho 140. Hazard 100. Mbappe more than 150. So many players have cost so much money, and they're having to go at City. What's this, Chris saying? City buying Torres and Ake for a combined 62 million. I say they got nothing better to say. Stones might go to Everton or West Ham. I can't see them going to Everton. I heard West Ham were sniffing around. That's not a Stones move. Stones should be going to, I believe, Arsenal. Even Chelsea, but not West Ham. I mean, that's a huge downgrade for Stones. Leeds, I'd accept for Stones because he'd come up, but I'd go on a loan. Faris, who's hassling you, Faris? Who's hassling you? Otamendi might go to Real Betis. Yeah, I heard that. I mean, Pep doesn't want to deal with Raiola. Maybe after Pep leaves, we can go for him, Raiola and Pep. I like Colin Watts. Yeah, Cash, but who knows when Pep's leaving? I hope he stays a few more years because overall you can't massively complain. Liverpool were outstanding this season. It's one of those things. If Liverpool were 10 points shorter this season, if they weren't as good, maybe we would have stepped up and got the points that we needed from the games that we messed up. So I think that's it. Yeah, I've talked about Stonesy. I've said before, I want him to go out on loan. He's only got a couple of years left on his contract, but let him go out on loan or let him renew his contract or something. Whatever happens with Stones, it's a problem. Some people are saying just sell him because if you renew his contract, give him a 4-year deal, then send him out on loan and he's rubbish and he can't make it back, you're lumbered with him for another 3 years. Marcelo Bielsa, that's the reason why I suggested Stones goes there. Chris, let's have a look. Don't worry about it. Faris, we just ignore and move on. See, we've got the centre back. I think we're going to get another centre back. I don't know if we need a new left back because I think Cancelo can do the business, but we'll see. Loan Yankuta to Leeds. That's interesting, Akash. It's a very interesting thought because we will never get Yankuta into City right now because we won't get a work permit. He's not EU. He's Brazilian. We will not get a work permit for Yankuta unless he gets a Portuguese passport, which you can get dual nationality, dual passports. You can get Portuguese citizenship, I think, if you're from Brazil. But unless Yankuta gets something, but if you're not playing there, why would Portugal? I don't know how it works, whether Portugal would say you have to play to get a citizenship or the passport. But anyway, he can't get a work permit at City. Maybe he can get a work permit playing for Leeds. He's under very exciting time. He'll never get a chance at City until he's got. I mean, the work permit would be if he played for the Brazil national team, then I think that would be what would get him a work permit. Leeds will spend a bit of money. I mean, they got Jack Harrison, who they don't want to pay the 15 million quid for. Now he's been there 2 seasons on loan. We offered him to them last summer for about 15 million quid. They didn't pay it because they couldn't afford it. They didn't buy him because they couldn't afford it, so he stayed out on loan. Now they're in the Premier League. You'd hope they'd do that deal. I think they want him on loan again, but they should do that deal. What's that, Jason? You'll send me the link. Cheers, buddy. I'll have a look at that when I get time, hopefully sometime this weekend. Once again, we got lots on. We got a Bolt from the Blue special on. We're recording that on Sunday morning or lunchtime. I'm not sure that won't be out till Monday because it's Mike who's in South Korea. He will do the editing. But if we're recording Sunday morning, it'll be Sunday evening where he is. Might be even, in the evening. So he might not be able to get it out in time, but we'll see. That should be fun. That's going to be reviewing the cast. It's going to be reviewing all City stuff. Okay, we're not just going to talk about the casting, but we got Colin Savage, an expert on that stuff. So Colin will be going through that. We'll be going through other stuff like transfers, like obviously what's happened this week since our last podcast. We're getting Ferran Torres. We put that bid has been accepted for Nathan Ake and other bits and pieces. So that'll hopefully come out Saturday. Not Saturday. It'll come out Sunday evening, or Monday morning, I think. But it's going to be busy. I'm at work 5 nights. Wow, that's hard work. That's hard work, Chris. Stay safe. Right, guys, I think we're going to knock it on the head. Unless there's any more questions coming in quickly, we're going to have to knock it on the head because it's 20 past 10 here. I'm just checking my messages. All right, just loads of messages in my inbox. And it's very, tons of stuff coming through. So I'm going to be it looks like I'm going to be even busy. People want me to do videos for them. Guys, please look after yourselves. If you're in Greater Manchester or any of the areas that have been affected by this local lockdown, please try and follow the rules. And the main thing is, guys, wear a mask. Wear a mask. It's not the end of the world. It's not a hard thing to do. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. It's two of the biggest things. Just take care. I want you all back for as long as we can get you, okay? Don't want anybody getting themselves ill because they've not looked after themselves. Anyway, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Take care. I'll see if I get time to do a video. What's that? Which central defender would you personally want, Ray? Right now, Cobby, honestly, I don't know enough about Ruben Diaz. I don't know enough about Skriniar, if I'm honest. And we can't get Virgil van Dijk. I want Tosin Adarabioyo. No, I don't. No. For me, Koulibaly is the standout. For me, look, he might not make it. It might not work. But to me, he's the standout who I hope would hit the ground running. And I can't see too many others out there. Soyuncu needs to learn. He's not the finished article. And I think we need the finished article in case we lose somebody. Can you imagine if we got Soyuncu and Laporte got injured again? Soyuncu is not the finished article. And then we'd have Soyuncu and Ake or Soyuncu and Garcia. I'm not so comfortable with it. Either Ake's. Can you imagine two centre-backs made up of two? You pick two from Garcia, Soyuncu and Ake. Would that leave you confident? I don't think it would. But if you knew you had Koulibaly and then you put him with Soyuncu or Garcia, I think that would leave you a lot more confident than not having him. So that's who I'll go for. Guys, take it easy. I'll be on tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do a video during the day, but we'll see. We'll see what news comes out and if it's worth doing. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves. Have a very good